Okay, so welcome to class, and I'm so glad that you're here. It is a little bit of a gray day today, so we're going to start out with some life-moving, life-enhancing Pilates style movements. Yes. So coming to your standing body, thinking about your feet underneath your hips, underneath your rib cage, with your head stacked on top. So this could be like your perfect standing posture. We're going to do 3 just nice, easy roll downs. We're going to start with our spinal stretches. So take a big, huge inhale through your nose. And then gently as you roll down, nod your head and see if you can slowly roll down. Think about being lifted from your spine so that your spine is getting movement and spaciousness on each roll. Roll to wherever it is where you're in a hanging position. Everyone has different flexibility this morning. Let go of your head. And then take another breath here and just kind of wiggle around for a second. Yeah, that's a very good Pilates cue. Wiggling around for a second. And then on the exhale breath, just drag yourself up. Anchor when you can with your tailbone. Roll that spine all the way up, standing tall, shoulders move forward, up, and then back and down. There's like a little shoulder roll. And then let's do that 2 more times. Breath in through the nose. Exhale, head nods, and we roll down with the attention on the spine. We feel heavy at the apex here of the roll down. Our heads are seriously hanging. You could nod your head a little bit. Big breath into the sides of your body, into the back of your body. This is a breathing exercise as well as spine. On your next exhale, it's the pelvic floor. You can kind of feel that, and then the spine anchors you as you roll the body back up. When you do get all the way up to your standing position, it's the shoulders forward, up, back, and then down. Good. Let's do it 1 more time, making it feel yummy. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, nod the head. Roll that body all the way down. The top of your head is heavy and it's leading you to roll down, and you're pulling your belly in. You come to that final hanging place, wherever that is. Maybe it's a little deeper than the first roll down. Take a big breath in and see if you can feel the breath moving into your low back. Try to see if you can breathe into your low back. That would be awesome. And then on the exhale, again, you can soften your knees if you like, or keep legs straight, but just feel like there's pelvic floor contraction, followed by awareness of the spine. Good. Final standing movement. It's forward, up, back, and down with those shoulders. Perfect. We're going to take the legs a little bit wider. Arms come all the way up, and this is our standing saw. So what we want to do is reach one hand. We're going to twist. Reach one hand to the opposite of the outside of your pinky toe, and the opposite arm is reaching up. You're reaching the arms in opposition, and then just unwind from that as naturally as you can, and then come back to that big standing Renaissance man or Renaissance woman position. Good. Again, twist, and then pinky finger reaches toward the pinky toe. Upside arm stretches toward the sky. My eyes are looking up, and then roll that spine up. There's a little resistance that you create to make it really yummy. Good. You're on your own with your timing. You can follow my timing if you want. Reach it all the way down, and then all the way back up. It's twist, and reach, and back, and center. This one feels so good today to me. I don't know about you. Twist, and reach, pinky to pinky, and then resist as you roll up and back to center. Notice I'm keeping my pelvis even and straight, and both hip bones face forward. Good. twist, reach, back, and center. Let's do it one more time each way. Twist, and reach. I think I could do this one like 10 more times. After class, I'll stay and do a little extra homework for myself. Yeah, I love this one. Reach, and back, and center. Ah, good, okay. From here, let's do a little bit of swimming. My feet are gonna come in just a little bit so I feel like they're comfortably placed for me. You might notice mine are a little externally rotated. And I'm gonna do a little standing swimming before we move into side bends. The hands come together, I'm bending my knees, and I inhale up, and I try to continue the inhale as I stretch my arms all the way down, and then exhale. So inhale up, keep inhaling, and then exhale. Good, now I'm gonna add on to that. I'm gonna inhale up. Good, exhale, lean over, clasp hands behind my head and stretch forward. Good, releasing, inhaling, and then exhaling. One more time, inhale, exhale. Excellent, okay. For our side bending, my legs are a little bit less than hip width apart, a little bit less than mat width apart. My hands today are gonna clasp behind my head, and I push my head into my hands. I'm gonna just stand tall for a minute and just feeling like, do I need a little bit of opening through here? Could I kind of imagine someone giving me a nice little massage around my shoulders and my upper back? And I'm gonna lift my sternum a little bit, and I'm gonna see if in this position I can have my belly muscles fire. Then I stand up as tall as I can, and I take it side bend, back through center, and side bend. Good, as we're side bending, we wanna inhale. So inhale through the nose on the bend, exhale as you come to center. Inhale on that bend, exhaling center. Keep going. Good, this time when you come to center, let your feet go a little teeny bit wider and soften your knees, slight bend. And try a couple like that, so different base of support. Are you able to get a little bit more stretch out of your spine that way? Maybe inhale, exhale. Inhale, big old side bend. Exhale, center. My body really loves this side bends. Back to center. I'm gonna do one more each way. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Good. Let's let those arms come down by the sides. Good. Feet are gonna come in, and they're pretty parallel. And just reminding ourselves, the parallel foot position is on the outer edges of the foot, not the inner edges. So glance to see if you need to do a tiny heel swing to get those in perspective. And then the arms come straight out, kind of like Frankenstein arms or robot arms. You might feel a little jammed up in the collarbone area, and if so, open them a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be narrow. And then lightly press down. And you're pressing down with your hands, but you're also adding your shoulder blades in your back. So you make that connection. Good. Then we're going to do a little version here of our single leg kick. So we first just pick up one leg. I'm gonna pick up my right leg, but here we go. Just pick up one leg. And then you kick your butt twice. Kick, kick. Then you're gonna lengthen that leg behind you, a little bit of a lift, and then you bring that all the way in. And then let's practice that on the other side. Okay, so here we go. Pick up your left leg. Kick your butt twice. Kick, kick. Good. Lengthen the leg. Lift it an inch. And then smoothly bring it in. Good. And then let's alternate. These are kind of slow. Pick up one leg. Good. Kick your butt twice. Kick, kick. Lengthen the leg, lift it an inch, and then slide it all the way in. Yes. Good. Keeping your arms steady. Pick up your other leg. Woohoo! Kick your butt twice. Kick your butt. Kick your butt. Lengthen that leg behind you. Lift it an inch, and then slide it all the way in. Again, pick up your leg. Kick your butt twice. Kick, kick. Lengthen. Lift an inch. Bring it all the way in, standing on one leg. Kick your butt twice. Kick, kick. Lengthen that leg. Lift an inch. Slide it in. One more each time if possible. Standing on one leg. Kick twice. Kick, kick. Lengthen, lift, slide it in. Standing on the other leg. This is the last one. Kick twice. Kick, kick. Lengthen, lift it an inch. Bring it all the way in. Let your arms come all the way down. Excellent. From this position, I'm going to take it into a very wide stance for the squats. And as we squat down, we want to think about our butts. It's just sitting on that small stool and coming back up. Let's do 10 with perfect form. Sitting in the small stool and coming up. You could think about your knees not really moving too much. Knees never come forward. Butt goes back. Butt goes back. You're sitting and then you're standing. You're sitting in the little chair and then you're standing. If you have issues with squats and for some reason it's really hard for you to do them correctly, I completely encourage you to grab a chair and then sit in the chair and stand up. Sit and stand up. It's a perfect squat. Sit and stand. Good. Now we're going to add on. So here we go. We're going to go into the squat. We go lower an inch and we go all the way up. We go down an inch lower, all the way up. 8 more. Down, inch lower, all the way up. Yes. Down, inch lower, all the way up and down. Inch lower, all the way up and down. Inch lower, all the way up and down. Down lower, all the way up. Couple more. Down, inch lower, all the way up. I feel these. Down, inch lower, all the way up. Last 3. Down, down lower, all the way up. Down, down lower, all the way up. Last 2. Down, all the way up. Last 1. Down, lower, all the way up. Okay, shake out your legs. We're almost there with the standing session. We got to do one more thing here with legs. And this is the plie. So my legs are wide. I have these little hand holds in my shirt. Do you guys have those? They're kind of fun to play with. So if you see me playing with them, that's all it is. Okay, I gave you a little break. Yes. You want to plie. Remember, the spine is straight now. It's not a squat. So we're going to practice just that perfect plie. We go down and we come up. We bend the knees and we lift up. For many people, this is easier than the squat. The form, I think, is a little easier. You don't have to think about sitting in the chair. Just think about bending the knees and standing tall. Bending the knees and then standing tall. I want you to press lightly down with your feet. So you're making that connection, feet to belly, as you come up tall. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now we're going to add on here. We're going to go down low. We're going to pick up the heels. We're going to drop the heels, and then we're going to stand up tall. Plie, heels lift, heels lower, stand tall. Again, plie, heels lift, heels lower, standing tall. Good. Plie, heels lift, heels lower, stand it tall. And plie, heels lift up, heels lower, and tall. A few more. Plie, heels off, heels lower, stand tall, last two, plie, heels up, heels down, and tall, last one, plie, heels up, heels down, and you are tall. Okay, good. Lastly here for our standing work, I wanted to do a little bit of tricep work. So I'm going to grab my small ball, and the first set is without any weights, but I do have my 3-pound weights here, so I am going to add those into the mix in a moment. If you have any pound weights, 1, 2, 3, 5s, those would be great to have now. Ball is between the inner thighs just for that stability, and I'm squeezing the ball a lot. I'm going to bend my knees. My arms come behind me, and notice that my palms are straight up. I'm trying to pull my belly in as much as I can. And then all I do is lift my arms up as high as I can and small pulses up. So this first set is to prepare the deeper muscles for the work. It's not just triceps, it's shoulders. I'm using the pecs, deep pectorals. I'm using my lats. I'm using biceps, triceps. I'm using all those muscles on my forearms. So I'm using all of the smaller muscles first. I want to get them fired up. And I'm reaching my fingers back, back, back. And remember, we've talked about the weight of your arms. Weight of your arms is fairly considerable. You already have 10 pounds, at least, unless you have tiny little bird arms. Maybe you've got 8.5 pounds. Ah, good. So I'm feeling it already. I'm feeling something. My whole body is leaning forward a tad, and I'm lifting those arms up as high as I can, and I'm lengthening my tailbone away from my head. So I'm not feeling that I'm overusing anything. Like by now, my triceps are firing. I can feel them. Now I'm going to keep my arms lifted as high as I can, and I'm going to bend my elbows and lengthen. Bend my elbows and lengthen, and notice that my elbows aren't coming down. They're staying exactly where they are. Good. Now for me, I definitely feel some muscles working. So this is without any weights. This first set is without any weights. Notice how much you can get out of it without any weights. Maybe this is a better way to go for many people, especially perhaps if you had like a shoulder injury. This might be something that you could really do, and it would be a great way of toning. My whole body is working, and especially because I'm squeezing that ball, it's really helpful. Good. I got to remember my form here, keeping my elbows lifted. Otherwise, we all cheat, right? The arms end up by our sides. We don't want that. We're going to keep those elbows lifted. Okay. Now, shake out the arms any way that you want. Ah. Good, because set number 2 is with weights if you like. So it will be fun if you're playing along with me to see the difference. I love experimentation. It's so much fun to find out what's harder, what's easier. So I'm finding that base of support, standing tall. I'm going to soften my knees, and my hips and my torso lean forward an inch. Arms are hanging, and then arms lift behind. I pulse, 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 and I try to keep my arms up as high as I can. Good, I'm working with 3-pound weights, so it's not much, but I'm feeling different than I did without the weights. I feel like it's definitely more arm work, less everything else. Up, 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 up. Good, stay there. And then bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. Good, let's do 10 together to finish. 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 more and 2 more. Last one, keep those arms lifted, 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 and then stand tall. Good. Did you have a preference? Did you like the weights, or did you like the ones without the weights? Did you notice if you did them both, they were different? Okay, let's transition for some core work. And we're going to put the little hand weights aside. Yeah, thank you for that. That was great. Okay, so now what I'd like us to do to the mat. When we're on the mat here, we want to just take a minute for ourselves. Good. And then come to a seated position. Yeah, I didn't tell you that right away. Sorry about that. I want to do breath of fire today, and this is actually the perfect timing to do it during our transition. So I like to have this ball a little bit behind me. Makes me way more comfortable as I'm sitting upright. Gives my spine just a little help. In this position, the breath of fire is an ancient exercise. Many of you have done it in yoga classes. It was in our breath book, in my breath book that I shared with you, that I read recently, and it's also in almost every breathing manual and class that you'll ever take. You're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and the emphasis is really on your exhale. The inhale takes care of itself. Hands are on the diaphragm or low belly, so somewhere on your torso, on your belly, and you're going to do it as quickly as you can, and it's not a hyperventilation. So it looks like this, and then we'll do 2 rounds together. It looks like this. So I'm like a fire-breathing dragon. You might need a Kleenex. It's like a fire-breathing dragon. You're exhaling through your nose. Inhalings are just happening on their own. So let's see if we can do that together, sitting tall, just starting. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. Good, let's try it one more time together. Stoking the digestive fires, stoking the core muscles, really firing up here through the belly. When you're doing it right, you can feel that activity through your belly, right? Okay, so last time, kind of maybe starting slow and getting the rhythm as you go. Here we go. Inhale, and then deep exhale through the mouth. Good, close your eyes for a second. And if you joined me in that short round of breath of fire, you'll notice that your feelings and your mindset has changed a teeny tiny bit. The breath work is very, very powerful. Okay, yay. Let's now move into some serious core work for the day. I'm going to put my TheraBand aside for a minute, and I'm going to start with my ball between my inner thighs. I'm going to slowly lower myself down onto the mat, so I lower all the way down with control. Good. Now the first 3 little lifts that I'm going to do are activating my upper back musculature. We've already done this in our warm-up, so it's just arms starting the movement. Then we pick up the head, neck, shoulders. We lift up, and then we hold on to the pants or the thighs a little bit so that we can pull ourselves up just a little bit higher. Then the hands come behind the head, and we stay lifted, and then we lower down with control. So super slow. We're going to do 3 of these to get everything firing in the right sequence, okay? Arms start straight up. Feel like your arm bones are pulling slightly down. Good. Inhale, the arms start the movement. Then the head lifts up, like naturally. There's no stress. I lift up as high as I'm able to by myself. Then my hands hold my pants, and I pull myself up a little tiny bit higher. Then the hands come behind the head. I stay lifted. I stay lifted, and then I lower down, and as I lower down, I squeeze that ball. Good, a tiny bit faster. Inhale, arms, head, neck, and shoulders on the exhale, all the way up. I lift up a little higher. Bring those hands behind the head. Stay lifted, stay lifted, stay lifted, stay lifted. Lower all the way down. Good, and then last one, best one. Inhale to start the movement, and then exhale, squeeze the ball and lift up as high as you can. Give yourself a little bit of an extra help. Stay in that new place that's higher. Bring the hands behind the head. Stay lifted, stay lifted, stay lifted. And then lower all the way down. Excellent. Okay. So now being very aware of your spine. We've done some wonderful spine work today. Spine is pressing into the mat. My arms are by my sides and they're pressing down into the mat. I'm going to gently float my legs up to tabletop position, knees right over the hips, and I've got my ball here right between the inner thighs and I'm giving it a good squeeze. Good. From this position, I want to sink my belly down as I extend my legs. And then I bring those legs back in. Good. Right now, I'm not thinking about my feet at all. I'm just thinking about extending the legs as I squeeze the ball and then squeezing it a little bit as I pull it in. So it's inhale, casting out, exhale, pulling in. Keep the ball squeezed as I go out, and then I squeeze a little tiny bit more firmly as I pull in. Inhale, legs out. Exhale, pull that in. Good, now really think about sinking the ribs down as you lengthen the legs, sinking the ribs down more as you pull in. Good, legs extend, belly is pressing into the mat, and then pull it in. Good, two more, legs away, legs pull in. Good, last one, legs out, and legs pull in. Slowly, with awareness, can you set your feet down? Toes, balls of the feet, and then your heels. So it's in three little parts. That's how much control you want of your body. Yes. Okay, that felt lovely. Now, we're going to see if we can add to that a little bit of flexion. You can always go back to the head down position, always noticing that that's your option. Okay, so we're preparing. We're going to slowly lift legs off to tabletop. Good. Arms are going to come up to the sky, like we did a moment ago, and we start the lift with the arms. Arms start the lift. We float the head, neck, and shoulders, and we're reaching, 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 reaching. Good. Legs out, legs in, slowly down. Good. Two more just like that. Arms, head, we lift up to flexion. We shoot your legs long. We pull those legs back in, and we lower down. Good. Last one, arms, head, neck, and shoulders, lift up, 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 up. Legs out, legs pull in, slowly all the way down. Good, remember how we put our feet down, if you can, with control. Toes, balls of the feet, and heels. Good. Last set, just of 3. We're going to see if we can do the whole thing with the hands behind the head. This slow awareness is very helpful. So stick with it. Hands come behind the head, and I'm always giving myself a little tiny bit of length. So I'm pulling my head a little bit towards the edge of the Cadillac here. Then I'm gonna do the same thing I just did. I'm gonna bring my legs up to tabletop and kind of set my body. I'm gonna lift up, and I'm using my elbows and my arms for that. Good. And then I lengthen my legs long, pull the legs in, and I come down. Now let's do 3 together with a little bit more finesse. Here we go. We lift, we lengthen, we pull that in, we lower it down. Lift upper body, lengthen lower body, pulling that in and down. Again, lift, lengthen legs, squeeze ball as you pull it in, lower down. Good work. Can you lower your feet smoothly? Toe, ball, heel. Yeah, okay. Keeping the feet down onto the ground, keep squeezing your ball. We're gonna go over just a slow folding and unfolding of the body, so we add a twist here. So here we go. Hands are behind the head like they just were. We're clasping the hands. I'm going to start with my right elbow, and my idea is to reach across to the outside of the opposite knee. So I'm going to lift all the way up, and I twist and I reach up as high as I possibly can. Then I stay lifted as I come through center. I squeeze the ball as I lower down. Other side. Reach up and across that body. I'm lifting and reaching with my armpit. I come back to center. I'm lifted up above those shoulder blades, and I go right down the middle of the spine. Again, reach up and across. Come to center. Lower down. Reach up and across. Come to center. Lower it down. Reach up and across. Come to center, lower it down, reach up and across, good, center it, lower it down, and reach, center, and down, keep this up, reach, center, and down, keep going with me, reach, and center, and down, keep it up, reach across, center that body, lower down, reach across, come to center, lower down, and reach, center, and down. Take a little teeny breather. Ah, good. For me, that feels really great because it gets in my intercostal area. I'm really stretching and strengthening through the rib cage, which is very helpful to me. Okay, we're going to do a second set. But first, lengthen your legs long. Let your arms come to your sides and see if you can just take an amazing corpse pose before we move into that second set. Ah, good. Okay, again, lengthening legs and then pulling all the way in. Good. Lengthening the legs long, using the belly muscles to reel it in. It's like a fishing rod. You're fly fishing out. And then reeling in, using the ball. Let's do it one more time. Out. And roll all the way in. Okay. Feet now are flat on the ball. Ball is far or near your butt. I just want it to be comfortable. But notice that your legs are together and feet are together on the ball. So there's activity through the inner thighs. Arms are going to start out at your sides. And we're going to push into the ball and lift the hips up. Good. Stay lifted here and feel that your scapula can depress. Your hips might be able to lift up a little bit higher. And just feel how the activity of the ball is firing through the body, especially the back line of the body. And then roll the spine down in a little bit of a swerve. So it's straight up, and then it's releasing upper back, middle back, lower back as you come down. So you get that little bit of a wave action. Let's keep going. We push up, we roll it down. Good, and it's exhale up, inhale down, through the nose, press up, roll it down, yes, and push it up, and then roll it down, one more time, push up, and roll it down, good, stretch the legs long, feel the belly activate as you pull them in. Do it again. Stretch the legs long and pull them in. One more time. Stretch those legs long. Feel the abdominals slide in. Good. Scratch your foot if you need to. And then from here, we're going to add on. So, if possible, the arms lift up to the sky. This is the same position that we did standing. These are robot arms or Frankenstein arms, okay? Thinking about that much depression of the scapula and the humeral head sinking back. Now push with your feet and lift to your bridge. Good, the arms come down, the spine swivs. Swivs, that's a new word, down. Good, so it's the arms lifting, spine lifts, arms lower, and then the spine lowers. Nice, inhale arms, exhale spine, inhale arms, exhale spine. Once more, inhale arms, exhale spine, inhale arms, exhale spine. Good, now stretch your arms over the head, all the way over. Stretch the ball as far as you can away from the top of your head. And then let's see if we can do 3 roll-ups with the feet depressed onto the ball. If you can't, feet go on the sides of the ball. If you need it, still remember TheraBand's happily waiting for you. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms. Keep pressing down on the ball. Keep pulling your belly muscles in. Keep reaching and keep lengthening. But above all, keep the back of the legs active. Yeah. So this is teaching our bodies that when we're playing tennis, cycling, running, hiking mountains, the backs of their legs are active. They're not just hanging out doing nothing, right? So it's the belly connecting through the back of the body. And it's a little challenging for some people to really keep the back of the legs active. It's like, well, wait a minute, Jen, that's not my regular, that's not my normal. Well, this is your new normal. Your core works before and with everything else. That's our secret weapon in Pilates. Good, one more time. Keep pressing down with your feet. Down, 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 down. Pull your belly in, keep reaching as if somebody is pulling you. And then last time we roll down, super slow, super smooth, super cool, all the way down to the ground. Okay, let the ball rock your body side to side. Good, we're gonna do a little bit of hip strengthening, just a short hip strengthening series, and then we're gonna do some ball underneath the sacrum in a moment. But just kind of remembering to release in between the exercises. That's a very important Pilates principle. Okay, as we come on into our side work, I'm gonna just adjust the ball so it's a little higher up between my ankles. So I'm not touching it with my feet. I'm rolling onto my side, and I'm gonna keep my legs long. It's always suggested in Pilates class that you bring your legs a little bit forward, making that crescent moon shape if you have any low back issues or you're new to Pilates. Otherwise, you can keep your legs straight out. So just noticing that difference. And then lift your legs slightly off of your mat. Get comfortable in whatever way it is that's comfortable for you with the neck. And think about activating right here through the waist and lengthen your legs more. Good. You can point your toes a little bit on this first set, not crazily though. And then we lift an inch and lower an inch. Lift and lift and lift. That's it. Lift. Keep squeezing that ball. Lift. Can you feel that you're really, it's like pretty exact, precise work here where your obliques are lifting your legs. It's like you've really connected the side of your body to the side of your legs. You're lifting all of the weight. You're lifting both legs with your beautiful side muscles. That's a lot of work. So think about lengthening and lifting. Doesn't matter how high you lift. Good, and just keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. For some of us, that might be like 85, 95, 100 pounds of legs right now that we're challenging right here. So kind of feeling that, noticing that. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Keep going, lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. Good, now keep the legs lifted. We're just gonna do 10 circles. It's a small circle. Small circle. My circle is the size of the ball, or maybe even smaller, like a baseball. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, and ball goes down. Bottom leg comes to the top of the ball. Top leg rests on top of that. So the ball is now underneath both of the legs. I keep pressing the ball downward as I lift the top leg as high as I want. And then I lower it down. So it's flex up and then point down. Good, just 3 more. Flex up and point down, and flex up and point down. Good, last one, flex up and point down. Good, now we change it. So we point up and flex down. We point as the leg lifts up and we flex down. Good, 2 more here. Point and flex. Make it nice and fluid. Up and down. Beautiful work. Let's roll onto our back. Good. And I'm going to use my ball here as a little bit of a pillow today. I'm going to take the leg that I just worked and lift it up as high as I possibly can, really stretching the back line here. And then I take it across the other leg. Good. I might need to adjust my hands. Yeah. Then, if that's feeling good, I'm going to pull the legs a little bit into me, and now I'm in a really great number 4 stretch, and I feel that. I feel it in my glute, and I feel it in my hip. So I'm going to breathe consciously into the tight parts of my body. Good. And I'm going to notice if the ball is good or bad, if it's helpful or not helpful. I think I kind of like it there today. Good. One more breath, staying in this as a maximum stretch, noticing if you're getting something out of it today. And then I just want you to kind of bicycle your legs out and then kick your butt. Good. And then we're going to roll on up using momentum. And then swivel around to the other side. Yeah. Good. So you have the ball between your ankles, and you know that this kind of hip strengthening, especially coordinated here with obliques, is very helpful today. So just pick up your legs, and first we want to spend a minute to fire up the obliques. Can you feel that connection with the side of your body to your legs? Can you really work that whole body, particularly right around your waist, like an extended waist area? Yeah. Then we start with just little lift, little lift. We lengthen and lift. Good. Lengthen and lift. Lengthen and lift. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Lift and lift and lift and lift. Good. If you're using your obliques and you're thinking about the whole side of your body, you're not overusing your back at all. If you feel with your hands the back of your body, you'll feel all of your back muscles working. If you bring your hand forward and you feel through your belly, yeah, there's a little bit of activity there for sure. But then if you feel the side of your body, it's like warmth. It's like steam coming off your coffee or tea. That's where the work is. We want to keep that in our mind's eye. Yes, now keep the legs lifted. 1, 2, 3 little circles, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Reverse for 10 circles. 9, 8, yes we can. 7, and 6, and 5, and 4 more, and 3 more, and 2 more. Last one. Lower it down. Release the ball, and if you can, just as smoothly and gracefully as you can, you get your bottom leg on top, and you stack the top leg on the top of that. So the ball's underneath you now. And then the top leg is going to lift up as high as you like, flexing up, pointing down just for 4. Good. 3, 2, good. Flex up, point down. Good. Now we'll reverse it. So it's point up, flex down for 4, point, flex for 3, point, flex for 2, point, flex for the last 1. Good. Okay, making your way onto your back. I'm going to do this side without the ball underneath my head, just for difference. I'm going to take that leg that I just worked and I'm going to stretch it up, 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 up to the sky. Good, and I'm really stretching. I'm reaching it up. I'm trying to get length through all of the fibers of the leg. Then I cross it over today. Good. I do pay attention to my pelvis in number 4 stretch. My pelvis is not wildly unleveling. It's not like a saddle that's falling off the horse. It's even. And then I lift up my legs and I let an imaginary weight kind of settle, as if somebody is standing there leaning on that extended foot a little bit, or a big fluffy dog. Okay, and we're breathing here. Good. And I feel it on this side in the exact same place. I feel it in my glutes and in my hips, exactly the same as the other side. So that's interesting to notice, but I want you to notice how you are feeling and how one side is different or the same as the other. Gathering information. Good. Now is the time to focus on the breath. You can inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Is there anywhere here that you can release any stress? Is there any place in your body that needs more oxygen? Now is a good time to find that out. Okay, and then unwinding, kicking your butt, rolling your legs around, whatever works here. Okay, good job. So, finally, we're going to grab the ball and we're going to place that underneath the sacrum. So we want to lift all the way up, place the ball underneath that sacrum. Good. And then legs come up to our tabletop position. Belly's pulling into the ball. And the arms lift up to the sky today if you can. Feel that you're setting yourself. You're setting your muscles. Humeral heads are pulling down. Belly's pulling down. Getting prepared. Good. And we start with just our little toe taps, or as I like to call them, knee backs. Knee back, knee back, knee back. Good. Knee back, knee back, knee back. Good. Now add a little arm movement. Ta-ta, ta-ta. Doesn't have to be a big, extravagant arm movement. Just a little bit of arm movement. This is walking. Yeah, it is. I know it's weird, kind of John Cleese, Monty Python style walking, I know. But when you're walking today, notice that it's the core that's walking you. Yes, it is. Light arms and legs, core is walking you. Cha-cha, 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 cha-cha. Good. Now the arms stay up. Legs now are going to feet flex and reach for your heel for our single leg stretch. One in and one out. A little bit with your heel, like you're pushing one heel out, pulling one heel back. Good. It's very linear. It's not like the bicycle. It's one in and one out. One in and one out. One in and one out. Good. Now, if that's going well, add a little bit of arm movement out and in. It can be small little arm movement. It can be extravagant arm movement. Arm all the way down. You choose. Good. And then keep this up. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Now, can you feel that the core muscles are working harder than anything else? If it's your legs that are working harder than anything else, lift the legs a tiny bit higher in space so that it's more core, less legs. Find that perfect place where it's core, core, core work, core work. We feel the belly, particularly around the low belly area probably for most people, but the whole thing is working. Yeah, good, and we're very safe. This is such a safe way to strengthen. Okay, good. And then bring the legs in for a second to pause. Let the arms come down. Good. Let the weight of the ribs sink into your mat as you extend your legs up to the sky. And on this one, let's leave the weight of the arms into the mat. One leg comes all the way as big as you can down, and it's 2 pulses. Change legs. 2 pulses. 2 pulses. Good. 2 pulses. 2 pulses. Keep going. 2 pulses. 2 pulses. Good work. Bend those knees. Set the feet down, toe ball heel. Slide the legs long. And today, really using your ball and behind the sacrum there as a back stretch. We want to let those legs be heavy. Let the ball passively stretch the back. Good. Maybe noticing that all of your cells feel like they're doing a little lively dance. They're turning bright green, full of life, like new buds on a tree. Even though it's fall, it feels like inner spring. And then from here, let's take it into a couple of stretches. I want you to release the ball and start out with bringing the legs into the chest. Good. Pulling them in tightly. And we're going to do our modified leg circles today. So it's just stirring with your knees bent, and you're taking it around. Taking those hips around, getting that movement going, fluid going, and reversing. Yep. This honestly is one that you could and probably should do every day. It's such a natural kind of a stretch. Many, many, many years ago, and it might not have been become, I mean, this is not a scientific study, but many, many years ago, I had an older client. I think she was in her 80s, and she was scheduled to have some hip surgery. And she came in to do Pilates with me, and we did Pilates, but I told her to do this stretch every single day. And then guess what happened? In a month, her doctor said that she didn't need to have the hip replacement. But I don't know that I hate to tell that story. Actually, I wish I didn't tell that story because who knows what happened, right? But I know that this stretch is really powerful. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, cross out the story because we don't know if that's what happened with her. But it was a good thing. It was an amazing thing. And I did keep in touch with her, although she continued her Pilates on her own, but I was training her daughter. So I did hear she was doing very, very well years and years later. So that was really cool, huh? Okay, legs come on down, and let's move into a stretch here with our TheraBand. We're going to bring the bottom of the feet up and place the feet here into the band, and then pull the legs in so that we're doing like a resisted happy baby. I'm holding on to my ends of my TheraBand on the inside of my legs, and I'm just rocking my hips a little side to side. This feels really good to me to have a little light resistance because I'm pushing up and pulling down. So it's working some different parts of my back. But if you have flexibility, you could also try just the standard happy baby. Maybe that feels just as good to you. So one way or the other, you're rocking side to side. and we're finishing our class as happy little babies. Ah, good job. Yeah. Did you ever hear the Zen cone, the sound of one hand clapping? You know what that one hand clapping is, yeah? How about the feet clapping? Can you clap with one foot? No, I can't clap with one foot. Okay, we'll work on clapping next time. Thank you guys for coming to class.